And welcome to Small Business Magazine
Talk Show on the SBT Magazine Radio Network.
I'm Barbara Davis Levine. I'm the Associate Publisher, Creative Director, Head Writer, and Editor of Small Business Magazine.
And I'm Steve Levine. I'm Executive Publisher of Small Business Today Magazine. I'm here to help her. It's our pleasure to co-host this show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Right here, it's all about the magazine and about the people who make up the magazine and everybody else in the world that's associated with us. So, Small Business Today Magazine, if you're not familiar with it, is a publication, both hard copy and digital edition. The centerpiece of each magazine is a cover story about somebody who's built a successful business practice here in Houston and now serves as a role model for this and future generations of entrepreneurs. The
criteria for the cover
has more to do with the quality of individual than the quantity of their sales or income. They're put there by a nomination and a subsequent vote by a publisher's advisory board. And the criteria, again, is philanthropy first.
Starting with nothing and building a business out, from nothing and giving back to the community are the two integral factors.
Inspiring story and somebody that has built a business on their own.
That's right.
And we've had a lot of very successful cover honorees.
Wonderful.
As you see right here on the table. 52 or 53, I think. And the March issue is now
online.
Early.
It's early.
Early, yay.
Okay, or no.
To get that way.
We had to go because of the flood. We had to change things up, and we're reinventing ourselves. And that's what any small business company, the key to success is no matter what hits you, you just keep coming back and reinventing yourself. Tony
Samper and Larry Carney are the cover honorees, and they're with American Services. They're mechanical
engineers. They have Aramco, the outside storm shutters. They've got so many things. HVAC. They do contracting.
And I don't know about Tony. I've wanted Tony on the cover for a long time, but he kept resisting. Because he thought he had to write his own story. He doesn't have time for that. No,
but Tony, he likes to write. He said he calls himself a writer and everything. We had a wonderful time and editing it. It was a very easy edit and great people. I can see why they're successful because they are such warm, caring, which is, not everybody in business is that way, but they definitely set the bar for
something very unique about this business people magazine, if you will, is the last page of the cover story, which Barbara invented. It's takeaway notes or best practices.
This is and
that's proof. Where we share with you what they would have shared with you had you taken them out to dinner and asked them for their advice on how to start and or grow a business. And those takeaway notes, that's the single most visited page on our digital publication is those. And we got some great takeaway notes in there, everything from make sure you have a great relationship with your banker and your attorney and your financial planner, review your business plan several times a year.
Mentor others.
Have a mentor, give back, obviously. To the community, the industry, or your fellow man. And even the best idea... Even the worst idea executed is far better than the best idea you only think about.
That's it. Yeah.
And the buck stops here. That was one of Kenny Ozu days. You're in charge. You're the boss, right?
Got that from Truman.
No, whatever it was, it's good stuff. So we've got a lot of terrific cover honorees put there by the advisory board that truly are role models. I think we should have our own Hall of Fame somewhere.
I know. Well, there's certain
people.
Places that a lot of them have been part of, the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses, the Women Business Enterprise Alliance, Women's...
Several people said they're going to start a Wall of Fame with their people, which is fine with me. The rest of the content of the magazine are great columns by experts, everything from 6 mistakes that startup entrepreneurs make, 5 drastic measures to turn your business around
how to do business with people in China or Kazakhstan.
Network with people in Japan. And nobody has columns like that. That's amazing stuff. Well, you may not want to move your business to Japan or China or Russia or Cuba, but knowing how to deal with people from that area, because they all have their own idiosyncrasies, and Houston is a multicultural.
We have over 92 consulates here, so more reason to know about other people's cultures.
You could be at a chamber event, or you could be a Greater Houston Partnership event, and running into a whole crew from some other area, knowing how they want to be approached is everything in business or business referrals.
You left out. I would tell everybody, if you have a chance, you don't want to have to necessarily read the whole cover stories, but take a opportunity to go to every archive and go to the takeaway notes of each one. You could actually make a compendium of business by just going over those takeaway notes. Right. And if you see duplicates, I say, what's the clue look like? You want to put stars against those and make sure that you are making that in your everyday business practices.
Exactly. So there's a lot of great information in it. You can still get a complimentary subscription online at sbtmagazine.net or smallbusinessdaymagazine.com. Either one will take you there. We don't have all the back issues because we've just
still redoing our
website, but it's got probably about 20 up there of the 52. By the way, all our radio shows are archived there.
Right.
All the YouTube videos, thanks to Mr. Ron Coleman with MovieWhip.com. And you can watch all the past radio shows. I don't think the one with Mike is up there yet, Englehart, but it will be.
Will be shortly.
Yes.
What was I going to say? Something. I don't know. Senior moment. Senior moment. Bunch of those. I got that.
Might be, but
it's definitely.
Get yourself a digital
system. I know. It was very important.
Oh, what? Okay.
One of the most important things at every cover honoree of every issue of every one that we've written is always about giving back. And that's why it's so important for us to highlight companies, organizations that are 501c3s.
We do a lot with nonprofits as our company, Small Business Today. You know, if you're a small business owner, it's hard to write a $10,000 check the way ExxonMobil might be.
But if you can give your own services of what you already do.
That's right.
And don't be doing it because you're looking for something. Do it because it's the right thing. And
exactly.
And in our own situation, you know, we've always been big about helping others. And for the first time, we were the ones on the receiving end, and we were literally
flooded with generosity.
Generosity of clients helping us cover honorees.
Lending me vehicles. Wheeler and 2 drivers pick up furniture all over the city for us.
A household of furniture, everything was donated.
And people started coming with all household goods,
even
and
money,
linens and bedding and everything.
It was amazing.
We went from being homeless, literally, have a furnished house
in one night.
And it, just like that. And I realized that just how important God's influence was, and the amount, and what we do for others, but not expecting anything in return. That's what it's about.
That's right. And so that's why today, we have very special guests.
We do. He's repeat guest.
He
almost could be your co-host today.
That's good. He's
been here before.
Facebook buddy.
He probably doesn't remember much about it, but no, I'm sure he does.
Steven Weiss.
Steven Weiss is with the Houston Kosher Chili Cook-Off, and he was involved last year and on our show, and we just had on last Friday, we had Mike Englehart.
Judge Mike
Englehart on the show. And tell us about the Houston Kosher Chili Cook-Off.
I want to talk about Steven first.
Steven first, okay.
Can ask him about Steven. Tell us. I know you grew up in Brooklyn.
Yes, I did.
And what did you do there?
What did I do? I played with my friends. I went to my grandmother's house every Friday night for Shabbat dinner. I went through all my education, early education, as far as public school and middle school, high school in New York. I went to Stuyvesant High School, which is a specialized science and math school, and went to Brooklyn College, got my degree in psychology and biology, studied at the Sorbonne for 2 years, after that in Paris, and then finally, I just got directions. And finally, came to Texas in 1976, went to Texas Chiropractic College, and became a chiropractor.
Are you still doing that?
I am retired.
You're retired?
Yes, I am. Unfortunately, in 2011, I was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and they gave me a maximum of 3 years to live. And thank God, being that it was 2011, this is 2016. I'm beating the odds somewhat.
All right.
Yes. And, I really thank God, as well as a number of friends and family that were there to support me throughout the entire ordeal.
Well,
so
obviously
it was challenging.
You look good. You got hair on your head. That's good.
This is true. I let it grow long. My wife insisted that after having really short hair and not of my own doing, why not let it go? So I've let it go.
But I remember from your bio that philanthropy is absolutely part of your life. All the groups that you give to, scouting, and you've been recognized as an entrepreneur back in 2000. and you've been an entrepreneur since then. But you've always done for different groups, yes?
Yes. From Cub Scouts to the Heart Association, I was on the board of the American Heart Association in Fort Bend County for 6 years. I was a Cub Scout leader, Boy Scout leader. For the past 6 years, I've been involved with the Greater Houston Kosher Chili Cook-Off. Yes. Originally, it was called the Houston Kosher Chili Cook-Off.
Got it.
We applied for our 501c3 in 2011. In 2012, the IRS did deem us to be a 501c3. However, we did not receive the letter until last year.
Oh, my gosh. It's a little slow, the mail? It was slow?
We had March 5th of 2015 was our 5th event, and on March 8th, we received the letter that we've been a 501c3 for the previous 3 years.
Is that crazy?
Yes.
Funny.
But that's okay.
So how did you get, I was going to say, how did you get involved in that to begin with?
Well, I was not on the initial planning committee where people were throwing out ideas of what we could do as an inexpensive event for the community. But Jeff Friedman called me up, who owns Houston Jewish Funerals and Distinctive Life. He called me up and said, we're thinking of putting something on. We're not exactly sure what we're going to do, but we'd like you to join us.
That's nice.
So I said, sure.
So we're on our way somewhere.
I said, why did you ask me?
As long as he didn't want you to join you at the funeral home. You're like,
This is true. Well, I'll tell you, in 2005, my dad passed away, and Jeff was there and was so supportive.
He is. He's wonderful. Sadly, I've had to deal with him for
He made a very difficult time.
He's special.
And he simplified things and really was helpful.
He is.
But so I got involved in the very, very first year of the startup of the Chili Cook-Off. Somehow they labeled me as the venue chairman, which involved getting permits, dealing with the city, the food permits, fire permits, dealing with the tent people. So that was my role initially for the first 2 years. And then, of course, when I got diagnosed with cancer, I was going to step away from the committee, but they wanted me to continue, so they kept me there, as much as possible. And I focused primarily on the silent auction,
right?
And which no one thought we would really be able to put together, but I had put it together
last year.
I had put it together in the very first year. I put the silent auction, and that was also my baby. I really enjoyed dealing with people, and I really didn't mind asking people if they would donate for the silent auction. So in the third year, there was another individual that was trying to get things going, and we were still in October dealing with the event in October, and in August they had a total of 6 items. So even though I had just finished my last chemotherapy treatment, I started calling people. My wife drove me to places, and we started picking things up and wound up having a successful silent auction. And then they asked if I would consider being a chairman. So actually for the past 4 years, I've been the chair of the Houston Kosher Chili Cook-Off.
It's really great.
Now, nobody else wants to do it. No, no, we have.
It's not an easy task. It's not an easy undertaking.
We have a great committee that each year refines putting this event together so that it has become easier and more simplified. As you said, Judge Mike Engelhardt was here last week, and he spoke to you. He's been integral in making this happen. Other people like Danny Fishman, Barry Brown, Chuck Weiner, and we have a host of others that really dedicate themselves to making this a fun event, a family event, and an inexpensive event.
I loved it. We went several years before. We were a sponsor. We were a sponsor of this last year.
I think we've been going from the get-go.
From the get-go, yeah. Everyone introduced it to it. And always some great chili.
Yeah,
and
great
fun time,
great entertainment, and great little giveaways, and the T-shirts from Houston Jewish Funeral Homes and Levy Funeral Home. And
that's the real battle. That's who's got the best T-shirt. It's judging for those.
Well, hopefully, it'll be ours. This is Houston Kosher Chili Cook-Off.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
I think we get some shirts too.
You will be getting some shirts as sponsors.
Small Today is proud to be a sponsor. Did anybody ask us for a silent auction item this year? I don't know.
I hope Mike did.
Yeah, well,
he was.
I want to see what you can dig up.
You told him you were going to give him the package, media package.
Another media package.
Yeah,
okay,
you said that.
Okay.
Okay, which is like a $2,200 value.
Yeah.
What does it entail? What's it cover?
Well, it's an ad in the magazine, and it's also a quarter-page ad in the magazine. It's a guest on a radio show. It's a social media promotion.
That's a half page.
It's a 2 VIP passes to one of our monthly launch parties.
Those are cool.
And the audio and the video link to their show. It's like a whole media package for any business. It doesn't matter small, medium, large. So, we'll do another one of those, and maybe we should do just a separate radio show visit.
Yeah, somebody wants to just have a little show, be on the show.
Richard Kalmick was it? He's got the cabinet company.
Yeah, that's right. USA Cabinet Company.
Cabinet.
He's one of my best friends.
He was a winner one year. I remember that. And I think who else was on board for that.
I don't know who got it last year. I don't remember. But
so
it was.
Why did y'all decide chili?
Why did we decide chili? Well, for one thing, do you know what the Texas dish is? The state dish. The state dish of Texas. Do you know
chili?
What that is? What do you think, Steve?
I would say
chicken
chili.
soup.
Huh?
Chicken soup. Matzo ball soup.
Listen, they haven't really gotten to matzo ball soup yet. Although, Kenny and Ziggy's makes a great matzo ball soup. Oh, yeah. But yes, you're correct.
It's either that or barbecue.
The state dish of Texas is chili.
Chili.
So, and I know that there are some Orthodox Jews that on Friday will make cholent.
Cholent, which is a form of chili.
Kind of like a chili.
Well, it's a beans one. It's one with beans. It's not a Texas style.
No.
Because true Texans don't put beans in their chili. We had that discussion with Mike.
And we do recommend, being Texas red and having it with no beans. However, if a team or several teams decide they want to put beans in, they're not going to be penalized because we're looking for the best tasting chili, the best, that has the taste, the aroma, the consistency,
texture,
and the aftertaste.
Is it present? Is the presentation? Is that part of it? The presentation?
Yes.
The way it smells.
Presentation, aroma. The taste, the aftertaste, and the consistency.
The texture.
Those are the 5 criteria to determine a good chili from a bad chili.
And is it from 1 to 10? The 10 being the highest points. Or how is it judged?
No, we're going to do 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
Actually, 0 to 5.
The judges don't even know what team.
No, they don't know.
Do they?
No, not at all.
But are you changing the judges because everybody has their own taste, and do y'all change the judges each year to give to deal with it?
We have some repeat judges coming. We have some new judges coming.
I want to be a judge.
But what we're going to do this year differently than we've done in the past.
Okay.
In the past, now when we only had 18 teams. Which was the first year, to have a judge taste 18 chilies, not too bad. I mean, I know for myself, I remember going around and trying to taste everyone's chili and get an idea of what people were doing.
We did 30 barbecues. Okay. We did a barbecue club, and we did 30 tastings of one thing.
Well,
barbecue beef,
I would probably do that too, but there are other people that might go, well, I'm not going to do that much.
Well, they just do a little cupful.
Little taste.
They do a little cupful, and they have some drink water to kill, to.
Yes. So what we're doing now, though, we're going to divide up the judges so that they only taste 10 chilies. Okay. And then they're going to vote for their top 3 chilies.
And then you're going to switch it.
And then we're going to switch it over and narrow everything down that all the judges only taste the top 3.
Okay. Yeah.
And do it that way. We're going to hopefully get it done.
We've got to go to break because we're wrapping up our first session. segment, right? Session, segment, whatever.
The court's in session.
We'll be back.
That was last week with the judge.
We'll be right back with Steven Weiss with the Houston Kosher Chili Cook-Off number 6.
Greater Houston Kosher
Chili. I don't remember the greater part. Houston Kosher Chili Cook-Off, which is happening this coming Sunday, the 28th, from noon to 4. Lots of fun. Lots of great chili, good eating.
And very reasonable price.
Very reasonable. $10 for adults and $6 for children. So we'll be right back to learn more after these messages. And you're listening to Small Business Magazine Talk Show on the SBT Magazine Radio Network.
Hello, I'm Paul Marcus, owner of Affordable Searches, your premier investigation company specializing in comprehensive background checks nationwide. Business owners know one of the most important things to do is the hiring of employees. However, if you make mistakes or you don't check them out thoroughly, this could lead to problems. Some of the problems may be unsafe business environment, possible violence in the workplace, negligent hiring, lawsuits, and a turnover of employees. Our website has a wealth of information for you to read and learn how to run the correct background checks. We are also available for free consultations at 1-877-685-6691. Visit our testimonials page to see what our current customers say about us.
And welcome back to Small Business Magazine Talk Show on the SBT Magazine Radio Network. Ooh. And we were talking to Steven Weiss with the
Greater Houston Kosher Chili Cook-Off.
And yeah, back to you. And been with the Kosher Chili Cook-Off all 6 years from the very inception.
From the planning.
And we decided that it was chili versus matzo ball soup because matzo ball soup is not the Texas.
Decided that wasn't the national dish. They went for
but
chili.
But there is a chicken soup.
Yeah, but that's still. But we're talking about
that happened last Sunday at Congregation Emmanuel. Yesterday at Congregation Emmanuel.
We couldn't go because our real bowls are still at the other house.
That's right.
We couldn't go because we were getting ready for the chili cook-off. We had to go to the storage unit and pull everything out, get into the truck so that we can get it over to the kitchen and make sure everything is sanitized and ready to go for next Sunday.
First question: what makes chili kosher or not, for those who may not know?
Okay. Well, you get 10 Jewish women.
Okay.
And you sit them under an air conditioner.
Right.
And freeze them out.
Right.
And they all go, "Oy gewalt, I'm so chilly."
That's it.
That's it. There.
All right. Seriously, what makes kosher chili from non-kosher chili?
Yeah.
It's the meat and the ingredients and spices. The meat must be kosher. In our case, we're going glatt kosher because there are some in the community
that are more
their dietary laws are
stricter.
Must go to the limit, the top.
Yep.
So that's called glatt kosher, and for someone that doesn't eat,
right?
Exactly. I have they got glatt. I'm not sure, but for someone that doesn't eat kosher food, well, there's no big deal about eating kosher food.
Yeah,
but for someone that does eat kosher food, if it's not kosher, then they're not going to eat it.
Exactly.
So we wanted to make sure that we were going to be inclusive of everyone in the community, and that's why we went glatt kosher.
Yeah. So
they buy their meats. They get their meats provided as part of their
entry fee.
Yes.
fee.
For the past 5 years, we supplied each team 20 pounds of kosher meat. This year, we're supplying 30 pounds of kosher meat.
And how many teams do you have this year?
We have 37 teams.
37 teams.
37 teams.
Times 30 pounds?
Right.
Each?
Is it cubed? Is it ground?
It's going to be ground. We found the first year we did supply a combination of ground beef and cube beef. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it was a matter of not having enough time for the cubed meat to break down. But we did notice that some of the chilies were kind of tough, so we decided let's do an even playing field and only go with ground beef.
Okay.
So other than the beef itself,
okay. Yes, I'm sorry.
I want to ask a question.
Okay.
What cut of meat? What cut of meat is used specifically for making that ground beef for the chili that y'all were providing?
That's an excellent question.
And I bet you don't know that.
I was just going to ask that. I swear.
I will tell you that Agristar which is the major kosher meat processor in the country, is providing the meat. We ordered 10-pound. They're in 10-pound chubs, and it's an 80-20 blend.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
It's an 80-20 blend.
Okay.
But whether it's from the brisket or from the sirloin
or anything like
that, that I'm not exactly positive what they're doing.
Because I know you want to have 80% lean and 20% fat.
Right, because the flavors in the
flavors in the fat. Okay. So that's what I was trying to find out.
And as far as being kosher,
Betty Crocker? How do you know?
But I know chili, and I know hamburger meat. Okay. And when you do hamburger meat, you want to have that blend, 80-20.
Steven should even know where the kitchen is, I swear. The only reason we have one.
But I know barbecue.
Yeah, well, you know eating it, but you don't know anything about preparation.
I know how to barbecue. That's what all I learned how to do was cook on a barbecue.
I thought your kitchen was in one of the restaurants.
Pretty much.
But that's thing I make for dinner's reservations, of course.
So getting back to kosher, about 3,500 years ago, when Moses had his great conversation with God, and God had his conversation with all the Israelites that had left Egypt, about 2 million that were there at Mount Sinai, he gave the Jewish people laws. They're called mitzvot, okay, and there were 613. And within those, there are laws on terms of what we can eat, what we should not eat. For instance, not mixing milk with meat. Later on, after the Second Temple was destroyed, and the rabbis started incorporating much more written terminology, so they defined, after the slaughtering process in the temples, they defined how meat must be processed to become kosher. Mm-hmm. All right. So today, when you go to a kosher processing factory, there are rabbis that are there at the time when these animals give up their lives for our benefit, and they'll do a prayer, and they'll make sure that the process is such that it coincides with the laws that were given to us.
One of the most important things is that then when the shochet cuts the jugular vein or whatever, it's done so quickly that they die instantly. They never suffer.
Correct, with no pain.
Right.
Yes, they don't knock
cows
over their head or anything with a hammer.
Okay,
so it has to be done humanely.
As you're a contestant in this, as you registered to be one of the teams.
Yes.
Other than the meat.
So you receive, for a team, which is it's $500, and we've kept the price of team entry the same for the past 6 years now, and with inflation, actually, it would be higher, especially with 10 more pounds of meat. It would be $600 instead of $500.
Yeah.
But they're given a portion of a 20 by 20 tent, so they'll have an 8-foot table. Okay, in which they can decorate their area. They'll receive the 30 pounds of meat. They receive all the cooking utensils, the burners that are necessary, the pots, pans.
But what do they share? Do they have to share certain areas with the other
Only
people?
In the prep area. Okay, we'll have the prep area where the teams can work to cut up any vegetables that they're going to be putting in to make their chili.
So,
all the permits, the food permit, the fire permits,
all that stuff.
Everything. The only thing that teams supply are any vegetables that they would put in their chili, such as onions and peppers, and any herbs and spices.
But they have to hand those. Not the vegetables, but the herbs and spices have to be turned in advance so they can examine to make sure they fit the kashrut.
That's correct. As a matter of fact, several teams, we had a drop-off yesterday evening, and we're having a drop-off this evening starting at 6 o'clock. And the teams bring in their canned goods, such as if they're putting in canned tomatoes. Again, there'll be a little mark on the label. It's called a hechsher, and it will denote that it's kosher. It's amazing how many.
And also what type of kosher, because it could be kosher parav, which means it can go with meat or with dairy, or kosher D, which is dairy, means it can only with dairy.
Right.
And then if it's a flesh for meat, it can't be mixed with fish, right?
That's correct. Yes. As a matter of fact, the very first year someone wanted to use some A1 Worcestershire sauce, and even though it's kosher. But it's kosher, but it has, I guess, anchovies.
It has fish in it.
Fish in it. And
anchovies.
And in the strict kosher sense, you cannot mix the meat with fish.
Yep.
Worcestershire sauce has anchovies. You know, I hate anchovies, but I like Worcestershire.
Yeah,
I know. He also likes
they're
Caesar
anchovies.
salad in the dressing.
And there's anchovies in that too.
I don't want to look at one. That's all.
But I love anchovies on my pizza. I really love anchovies in my salads and pizzas. So.
Well,
statistically used with beef?
huh?
Well, they're using it for seasoning, but not in kosher. In the kashrut, it's not acceptable to mix.
Okay,
but there are enough herbs and spices that you can add,
right,
without having to worry about Worcestershire sauce.
Well, I understand that.
You know,
I mean, you could have.
Sauce is designed for. Why did they make it kosher in the first place?
Huh?
Well, it's kosher for other things. I put Worcestershire in red sauce or whatever. You know.
And also, again, you know, we have so many different. You know, we have one Jewish community. But but there are many that are extremely observant to those that are secular and unaffiliated. And so, if you were to take an item that was kosher and you weren't really worrying about mixing the milk, mixing the meat and the fish, those Jews would be using it. You know, if you have someone though that is.
But then why would they be carrying it?
And am I correct that in certain cultures of the Orthodox Jews, you can mix meat and fish, and others you can't?
Yes.
So
this is correct. This is very correct.
That's right.
Okay. But what we've done
is you have gone to the
is that we've
ultimate,
gone to the highest level of kosher so that we can be inclusive of those people that are highly, completely observant,
right,
and including how they feel that the food should be put together.
Is there a kosher police there?
Well, it's called rabbis. Actually, they're called. The individual term is mashgiach.
Yes.
Okay, and we will have at least one per tent that will make sure that nobody slips in anything that they're not supposed to. You know.
I got another.
Not that I mean, look, we're very. I know everyone is trustworthy, but I also know when you're dealing with competition. Yes. You always think, what can I do to make mine better?
I have a question. If I wanted to do this, let's say I want to be compete,
right?
But could I bring a smoker and have the meat, put the meat in my smoker before I make the chili?
I remember the answer.
Maybe when we do the barbecue cook-off, but not at the chili cook-off.
Can't use the smoker for your meat.
You cannot use the smoker for your meat.
Okay, because that'd be good.
Huh?
That'd be good to have the smoked meat in your chili.
Why?
How come?
Well, partially because of logistics, in that we wanted to have a fair playing field,
right?
Where each team would be supplied everything needed to create a good chili. Now, certainly something like a smoker might be a great idea, but if you have a smoker for one, you need to have a smoker for all.
Well, why can't someone supply their own smoker? That's them making their meat their way.
Well, for one thing, that smoker may or may not be used with kosher meat. Okay,
so
everything. If it's brand new from the box, okay, it would still need to be given to a rabbi.
It would have to be tivled. It'd have to be put in a mikvah.
That's correct. Yes.
Right.
Okay. And really to try to keep things
and put all
simple.
That stuff. Yeah.
You know. I remember the KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. We're trying to keep things as simple as possible and a level playing field for all.
I like it.
So that's
besides the chili,
sense.
let's talk about the whole event.
Okay.
What's new this year?
What's new?
You told me about one where the stage is new, right?
We've redesigned the
configuration,
concourse, the configuration a little bit, so that the stage is on the far end of the event rather than as soon as you walk in.
So it's going to be towards when you come in, it would be like to the back fence closer to Braeswood?
Correct.
Okay.
It is on the Braeswood side.
That makes sense.
And you know, before in the first segment, we were talking, you mentioned about this coming Sunday. So let me reiterate that this Sunday, February 28th,
right,
that our chili cook-off is going to be at the ERJCC, which is the Jewish Community Center at 5601 Braeswood Boulevard. It's on the south side. We will have parking not only at the J, although there is some, it's limited, unfortunately. We are going to have some satellite parking at Congregation Beth Israel and at Parker Elementary School with shuttles.
Oh, great.
Okay, we will have shuttles going back and forth. We're going to have a larger silent auction, including a great deal of sports memorabilia and Judaica. Camp Young Judea and Green Family Camp are bringing a Yaga court for the kids.
What is that?
Good question. I'm going to find out next Sunday.
A Yaga?
A Yaga court. Yes, it's some type of sports court. The kids know what it is.
Okay.
And this event, while it's certainly a competition, is for families. So we're going to have bounce houses. We're going to have arts and crafts, face painters, jugglers.
Music.
We're going to have great music this year.
And you're going to dance, Steve. We're going to let you dance on the stage in tutu.
Sure. We're going to have the Danny Gavin Band. We're going to have the Lanier Middle School Klezmer Band.
No.
Joe Buchanan.
My mother went to Lanier.
From Congregation Shar HaShalom in Clear Lake, who has gone out on the road professionally now and has his first album. He will be singing some of his songs and selling his album.
Does he sing country western? What's he sing?
He sings contemporary Jewish songs.
Okay.
And then finally, we're going to have a guest appearance of Little Juford, who is with the Kinky Friedman Band.
He is.
Yes.
I've met him.
And he's going
on the
to
campaign
be doing
before.
He's going to be doing a concert for Congregation Beth Jacob in Galveston, and so they're teaming up with us. They're going to share him for a little while and let him sing a few songs.
What's his name? Little Juford. I can't think of his real name.
I just know him as Little Juford.
Okay.
You should break Tukey with his bird mitzvah outfit, Barbara.
Yeah. I don't know if you want my bird can wear his. He can wear a little
his bird mitzvah outfit.
He has
a bird mitzvah.
He
I
has
like that.
He had a bird. He has a little tallis and yarmulke.
Was it male or female?
He's male.
Male. Did he have a bris too?
No. He
He's a bird. He's a bird. Let it go. Anyway.
No, because he's a fagala.
Okay.
Once again, it's $10 for adults, $6 for children. It starts at noon this coming Sunday, the 28th, and goes to approximately 4 p.m.
Correct.
There are 30-something teams.
37 teams, 36 booths.
Yes.
And
37 teams.
And what's really great, you can go each booth and you get free chili to taste to your.
Heart's content.
You want to get little bitty bowls and keep. I want to take little things. I say, just give me little because I want to taste everybody's.
There's even some beer.
Yes.
Yes,
there is wine there, right?
I'll tell you how far we've come.
How far?
As the Greater Houston Kosher Chili Cook-Off, our official beer sponsor is St. Arnold's Beer.
Okay.
That's a long way.
I think that's funny.
And they have great beer. And the fact that they're local, that they started in Houston, we felt very, very comfortable in teaming up with them and letting them serve beer. There will not be any additional charge for the beer.
That's great.
That's included in the price. We don't want anyone to overdrink, but there will be beer there.
What about other? Wasn't there before a tasting of alcohol that was somebody had some kind of liqueurs last time? I remember.
He is not going to be present.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No problem.
All right.
He's not going to be present.
And the website to go for more information, get tickets, more information.
That's a good question.
And thank you.
I'm glad you asked that, Stephen. www.HoustonKosherChiliCookoff.com. HoustonKosherChiliCookoff.com.
That's right. And they do have a Facebook page as well. Guaranteed great time. We've been there every year. We're a sponsor.
It's supposed to be great weather too, right?
Today's this morning it showed for Sunday, whereas yesterday it was 20% chance of rain. They took that 20% off the chart and just showed a partially sunny day, a low of 53 and a high of 74.
That's perfect.
Perfect weather.
Perfect weather.
We will. Small Business Today magazine will be there with a tabletop booth and our latest copy of the magazine, which is the March issue.
Right.
Just in time.
Yeah,
and,
this is just.
And we do have an ad in Small Business Today magazine in case you want to go to our digital publication.
Show this great ad. Where's the ad? Where is it?
In case you want to go to our website, keep going. It's just Beyond
Africa.
Yeah. Next page.
There we go. Bright and orange.
There we go. And Small Business Today magazine is indeed proud to be a sponsor
of the Greater Houston Kosher Chili Cook-Off. Yay!
We never say the same thing at the same
time.
Never. No, we don't.
We don't agree on anything the same thing either.
Good point.
Well, how long have you been married?
Too long.
There you go.
There we go.
I did ask this to Mike, but do you have these last couple of years, do you remember a favorite chili of yours, what you like? Or what it had in it?
I do. However, being the chairman, I have to be non-partial.
Well,
of the past, of previous years.
Right. And you're not judging this year.
Huh?
And why you like it.
I do not judge at all.
He's not going to know.
And let me tell you, as much as I enjoy food and eating, I would love to be a judge. I think I do have a very good palate. However, since I am the chairman, I think it's my obligation to be non-partial. Right. But certainly, there have been some really good chilies.
Yes.
I remember, Congregation Orme last year was excellent, and so was Chabad of Sugarland.
What did you like about it? What made it special to you?
I like the fact that when you tasted it, it wasn't hot at first. Okay, if anything, maybe there was a little bit of a sweetness to it, and then as the aftertaste developed, you started feeling
a little
heat.
slow burn,
and it was just enough to put a little tingle on your lips, without being overpowering.
Wonderful.
We've got to go to break, but
already
we want to thank Jerome Davis, our
engineer extraordinaire,
Ronald Coleman, MovieWhip.com, and this will be a YouTube
Craig
video.
Klein of SalesNexus.com. That is a great
right here in his house.
With CRM and email marketing programs.
Paul Marcus.
AffordableSearches.com.
Tony Noun.
AutoShoppers.biz.
That's right. For helping us out with the show. And we'll be back after these messages. And you're listening to Small Business Today Magazine Talk Show on the SBT Magazine Radio Network.
At Affordable Searches, our mission is to provide our customers with the most thorough background check possible to protect you, your employees, and also your business. We do so by contracting with companies across the country that provide us with the best information possible and in a quick turnaround time. Our turnaround times average anywhere from 24 to 48 hours. Our pricing is very competitive, and we are always here for you. We're always here to answer any questions you have. Please give us a call at 1-877-685-6691, and we'll be glad to answer each and every question that you have.
And welcome back to Small Business Today Magazine Talk Show on the SBT Magazine Radio Network. And we are talking about Greater Houston Kosher Chili Cook-Off happening this coming Sunday, February 28th at noon. And now, last year it also benefited the Berry children.
No, that was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
That was 3 years ago, unfortunately, when Josh and Robin Berry were coming home from a vacation and had a tragic accident.
Head-on collision.
And where a head-on collision.
Right.
And both Josh, who was one of the original committee people for the chili cook-off, and his wife were killed, and their 3 children were injured, 2 of them permanently. And but they have created the Berry Foundation.
Right.
So they are doing things.
Independent.
But certainly that year, they were our major beneficiary.
Because we were
Super Lowe's, the grandmother.
The grandmothers. So
yeah. Wonderful people.
Yeah.
And we miss them. As a matter of fact, we have a People's Choice Award, and we call it the Joshua Berry People's Choice Award.
That's nice.
In his honor and memory.
Excellent. Now, besides the judges, it's timely to mention that there's also other voting in the form of dollars you collect. Isn't that for each one of the...
That's where the People's Choice Award comes in.
That's right.
Yes.
And
so that there will be boxes in front of each team, and whoever you think has the best chili or best chilies, you can donate some money and put it in their box. And
do you get a ticket though when you? Do you also get a ticket for admission that you can use?
You will be getting this beautiful neon green. It doesn't glow in the dark, but a neon green bracelet that says www.HoustonKosherChiliCookoff.com.
There you go.
Yes.
And
you'll get yours on Sunday when you come.
We'll get some of our own and some shirts.
And some shirts. Yes, you will.
Save me a double X. Okay. And it's a great time. I don't know. It benefits so many people. It's a lot of fun.
And Meals on Wheels.
Really terrific chili.
Meals on Wheels. I know that my mother, may she rest in peace, she did all the Meals on Wheels, and they deliver kosher and non-kosher. They don't, they do it out of the Jewish Community Center there on Braeswood, and she had a route, and then when she died, or actually when she got sick, we started doing the route, and then after she passed away, my daughter continued the route for quite a while, and so it's a meaningful thing for people that. They don't just need the food, but the companionship. A lot of times we'd sit and talk to them to give them some interaction that they wouldn't get otherwise. So it's a really great program.
Especially if you become homebound for whatever reason.
Right.
That may be the only interaction you have with another human being that day.
Right.
So it really it goes beyond just serving food.
Yes, it does. I remember my mother used to laugh and say, "Wheels on Meals," and everybody'd laugh. It was her joke. And
now for the second year, Barbara Bronstein, who started Second Helpings, will be collecting any leftovers that we have. Now, we hope we don't have any leftovers, but if we do, it will go.
Well, you just gave everybody 10 extra pounds of meat. If it ran out before.
Well, we last year, even though the weather was horrendous, we wound up having approximately 1,500 people between attendees and those that participated, as teams and sponsors, the judges. So there were 1,500 people. Thank God this year, it looks like the weather is going to be better.
I bet there's going to be more people.
And we are expecting more people. We're going to be using some of the traffic signs on the highways.
Yeah, the electronic signs.
The electronic signs to guide people to the JCC. I mean, a lot of people that have been here for years know where the JCC is, but for those that don't, the signs will be very, very helpful.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Really
well, we hope it for a great crowd, and certainly surpassing the 1,500 who came out in the rain, the driving rain, and the cold, because it came in every direction.
Yes.
And we were the tamale guy, remember?
And we still had a great time.
We still had a fantastic time.
I mean, it really was chilly weather.
Yes, it
was. It was very chilly.
It was chilly.
Wet,
it was so chilly.
So chilly. It was wet. It was.
Yeah. And so that's HoustonKosherChiliCookoff.com.
Greater Houston.
Well,
no,
as far as the website.
Okay.
Don't correct me.
The website is HoustonKosherChiliCookoff.com. But the official name of
the event,
our 501c3 is Greater Houston Kosher Chili Cookoff.inc.
Do you want to give a shout out to some of the board members who are
sure.
Involved?
Well,
sure. Well, we know Judge Mike
Engelhart,
Barry Brown, Danny Fishman, Rabbi Mendy Traxler, Tim Stewart, who is with the ERJCC Meals on Wheels. He is their liaison and on our committee. We also, Chuck Weiner, who is our CPA, Larry Ellard, who's with the Houston Free Loan Association.
Is he back in town? I know he went to
He'll be
Israel.
back on Wednesday.
Okay.
He's been in Israel for
Sits
a
in
few
front of
weeks.
me at UOS in the morning.
I know. My daughter's helping while they're gone at his place of business.
Phil Rivers, Elliot Gorog, and if there's anyone that I haven't mentioned, please forgive me.
So this is an all-boys network. You're not going to get any ladies in to help volunteer?
We would on the other side.
I guess so. You want to have a pizza?
We would, like anything else, we have a great group of guys that are doing everything in their power to make this a great event. At the same time, if anyone is interested in coming onto the committee, we would be more than glad to entertain them. Anyone that especially is good with websites, social media, we would love to have that. Our PR department is diligently working on that. But if someone comes in and says,
you use a Paget group for a lot of PR. That's how we got involved.
Yes, the Paget group.
And they're terrific.
They are our PR people. But anyone that is interested in giving back to the community, sometimes giving back to the community is not only about giving money,
giving of your service.
But giving of your service. Giving of your time.
That's what we talk about. Every successful cover honoree we've had on all our publications, that's the one thing we have in common. That a lot of them provide their services, that they've always been giving back from the get-go. Before they became a success, they were giving back. And that's why it's so important that I think everybody should shop small business every day, and everybody should be supporting your local charities that don't have the nationwide support. Those are the two things I tell everybody.
When you're at this event, make sure you visit that silent auction, because I understand there's a very special piece of artwork.
Yes, there is. From Celebrity Company.
And for the special needs
Yes.
group.
Yes.
Very special piece of artwork, and I hope.
What's it look like? Do you know?
I've only seen a picture of it on the website, but I have not physically seen the picture. So I'm looking forward to seeing that on Sunday. We're going to have, I think we have well over 100 different items on the silent auction, and when you come and bid, don't think of it as looking for a bargain. Think of it as helping the community.
That's right.
I hope you have another eyeglass holder, because mine
his went in the flood.
Mine went out in the flood.
His 85-pound nightstand, the wave came in the bedroom and knocked it over.
I'm glad you said AJ Sapper is another committee member. Sorry, AJ. And he is in charge of judges. So,
Oh, good.
So I definitely, and he owns Great Glasses. He has a number of different opticians stores. So maybe he can help you get a glass holder.
Ceramic.
It was a cute little ceramic
nose,
and then
it had a little Star David on it.
And that's what I got him the silent auction.
And both of those went in the brink when the 5 feet of water came.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Yeah. Well, the most important thing is that you're still here,
and we're still here.
Both
that's
of you.
right.
We're very blessed.
Treading water, but we're here.
That's it. That's it.
And been flooded with blessings.
What's one thing that everybody should know before we end the show, that is anything that we haven't left out or you want to say?
I know that our people have notoriously been looking for bargains.
Right.
This is a great value. Okay, it's not a bargain.
It really is.
It's a great value. When you think in terms of $10, all the chili you can eat, and having beer, and having entertainment, having children's activities for $6, where they can play for 4 hours for $6, even if they didn't eat a thing, you cannot find anywhere that as inexpensive as $6 to entertain your kids.
And beer.
And have a l'chaim.
There you go. I don't know why you don't have plans to get there already, but go to HoustonKosherChiliCookoff.com, register, come, enjoy. It's a great
And you don't have to be Jewish to go. One thing, you be sure it's going to be clean, great food, healthy food.
Come by our booth,
kosher.
Small Business Today magazine, say hello, tell them you saw it on this show or heard about it, and we got to go. It's time.
And you can pre-purchase your bracelet online.
There you go.
HoustonKosherChiliCookoff.com.
Right, and there's a link that takes you to Eventbrite, and you'll be able to purchase your tickets.
Excellent.
And you've been listening to Small Business Today magazine talk show
on the SBT Magazine Radio Network.